go. Brimstone episode 1. Do you have your starter drink?
I do.
Is that the new one?
Are you ready? Yes, the new one. See? Not open.
Every episode we're going to do a fun drink. And I figured what better way to start episode 1 at 6 o'clock at night with a Red Bull. Well, I picked an Alani because I went to the store and they didn't have Red Bull. And I said, this is fine. I like Alani.
Sad.
All right, 3, 2, 1. And because I'm that bitch, I have a straw.
Man. For your energy drink?
For my energy drink, yeah.
You don't just like throw it back, you know?
I do have this huge ass water bottle.
You do. Yeah.
Look at it. Our friends at Sage and Fable sent us these goodies to use while we record. So thank you, Sage and Fable. We love them. Look at this. This thing is huge. It's bigger than my head.
You're going to stay hydrated with that. My husband is very excited about this because it's another tea cup for him because he drinks tea at least once a day. So, tea mug added.
He's a 95-year-old man. If you guys want this cup, because I know that you do, because it's perfect, or if you drink tea and you want the coffee cup version, we are dropping a discount code in our show notes. It's called Goodish is the code that you can use. Again, it's in our show notes. You can get 10% off of your order. There's a couple of exclusions in there, so I posted them in there as well. But you guys know that I love giving you discount codes. I search for them high and low. We always check our product before we post it and give you guys a code to it so that we can support small bookish businesses, but small bookish businesses that we can say, hey, we've tried this product and we like it. So thank you again, Sage and Fable, for sending us these awesome cups. I love it. And I want everyone to have a matching cup with me. So when you get a cup, you can tag me in it. And we'll be twinsies. All right, let's do this. Brimstone, episode 1. Welcome to the Goodish Girls, guys. My name is Dallas.
And I'm Cass.
She's Cass, and she's back. So if you guys know, Cass has been MIA because she did the hardest thing on the planet, and she had a baby. So you had a baby. She knows her name. She knows what day it is and time it is. If you're a mom, you'll get that.
Sometimes I have to set alarms so that I remember what the next day is.
Yes. We are here. Welcome, everybody. Here we go. We have been waiting for this for a long time. Quicksilver in general, when we deep dove Quicksilver, and if you guys haven't watched that, make sure to go back and check out those episodes as well. This is going to be full of spoilers, so please make sure you have read not only Quicksilver, but Brimstone and the bonus chapters. If you need the bonus chapters, you can get the maze at the end of your Kindle Unlimited chapter. Like once you get to the end of Quicksilver, if you keep scrolling, there is the chapter The Maze. If you don't have Kindle Unlimited, we do have, again, in our show notes, a discount for you guys to get signed up at a nice price for that. But if you would like the other ones, those are not only on Callie Hart's website for free, you can go on Audible and get them. It's where it's narrated by Anthony Palmini. So that has a lot of really important information that we'll be bringing on over as well. We're going to dive into it. I went to the midnight release party and I want to tell you about it.
Okay, go ahead.
I did not. The best night of my life.
I was asleep.
I knew you were sleeping. I went and it was amazing, and I experienced New York for the first time. It wasn't that bad.
I still have never been. I want to go so bad. Wow.
The best thing I saw in New York was a giant billboard with a pigeon on it. Like a full size, not like a full size pigeon, but like a billboard pigeon. And it said, pigeons are New Yorkers too. So we need to show them more respect.
They are.
Yeah.
That's their home.
I don't speak pigeon, but I'm pretty sure they're like, hey, I'm walking here.
Yeah, probably.
Every time you like walk through and they fly away, it's like, I'm walking my house. All right, guys. So today we are covering chapters 1 through 7, as well as the prologue in the beginning. Callie, when we interviewed her, and if you haven't seen that, guys, go check it out. She had mentioned that you need tissues, a full day or two off of work, therapist, all of the things. I did not contact my therapist, thankfully. I thought about it. But what I did was I did send voice memos to a group chat with Cass and Alyssa. I gave a chapter warning because we all read them at like different paces. So I was like, this is for chapter blah, blah, blah. This is how I'm feeling. I was just screaming at my phone every once in a while.
I feel like I did really good at holding it in. I just didn't trust her
say it's
with
good to let it
anything
go.
that she was giving me. I would let it go if I knew the things were going to be solid. But I was like, I feel like this mastermind of a woman is tricking me. Thankfully, every time I almost cried, she did trick me. So it was okay.
Yep.
I'm fine.
She was like, JK, jump scare. Gotcha. That's so funny. I do want to talk about the dedication. Hell is empty and all the devils are here. And this is The Tempest by William Shakespeare. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot about it until you just brought it up right now. I remember reading it at the beginning and being like, okay, girl, in my head, I was thinking that I was thinking that it was going to be about, Sarah's coming into the blood court and what she's going to have to deal with. Like, it's going to be like hell, and all these things around her are going to be like the devil. But now I feel like it has a different meaning now that I have finished the book. So I really need to know which one she meant it for, or if it was supposed to do this, where you finish the book and you're like, what the fuck? And then you read that again and you're like, another sneaky note from Miss Callie Hart.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting, and I would like to ask her thoughts on it. If we get to speak to her once more, that will probably be question number 1. Tell me about your dedication. What does this mean? Hello?
Yeah.
I know you were busy resting it off of like 7 billion hours of writing and touring, but I actually have this question.
Not important.
Not important. So when we go through each chapter, we are going to have a small chapter recap, but it's not going to be a regular chapter recap. So this is a chapter recap of how thoughts go through Cass's and I's mind. I'm really excited about this part.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun writing.
It's going to be good. Yes.
I remember when I wrote the first one, I was like, is Dallas going to read this and be like, no, you can't say that. Change it. So I'm excited.
Approved. And then we're going to go through some big plot points, like things that we noticed, little trails and breadcrumbs, some strings that were like attaching together. And then we're going to kind of go over if there was theories in Quicksilver that did or did not come to fruition. And then we're going to talk a lot about character growth, right? Because that was a big thing, I think, between these 2 books. So here we go, starting with the prologue. We are immediately in vampire territory, but our Lord and Savior Kingfisher is there, so we are not scared. We learn Ceres is alive ish and well as can be, and has many questions about what the actual hell is happening. Fisher puts a vampire out of its misery with Nimmerell and moves on with his day. Everybody's favorite auburn-haired smartass Carrion Swift arrives in a panic because our beloved Onyx is in trouble, but Fisher gives a small part of himself to save him. Thank you, Kingfisher.
Yay.
Snaps for Fisher.
Yay. Good man, good man.
Good man. What a man. So that prologue was really long, which I am not used to seeing, but I thought was so interesting.
I kept flipping back to be like, am I in chapter 1 yet, or is this still the prologue? Because usually I feel like it's like a page or half a page for a prologue. Yeah. And I kept being like, oh, okay, we're still going.
Still going. Like 50% of this book was from Kingfisher's POV. So I did really like that.
I mean, I love that a lot, but I really love that we got to see like in his mind.
Yes. And honestly, it's her book. She wants a 30-page prologue. So what?
True.
I'll read it. Some big points for the prologue were for the blood court, right? We learned a lot about them in this book from the other perspective. So they have no beating hearts. And so the Fae cannot really detect their emotions. And it's interesting because their day starts at sunset instead of at sunrise because the daylight will harm them. Also, fire is not good for them either.
Twilight, book 1. Fire.
Book 1. Yeah.
Takes care of what you need.
No thank you. So they have a different type of light that they use to, because they don't have electricity, obviously. This is not Crescent City. We got cell phones.
We're not in the modern world.
Hold on, Sarah. She's just going to speed dial Kingfisher really quick.
Daddy, I need you. ASAP.
Hello, Daddy? Daddy?
Carrion answers. Hello.
And he's like, yeah, you called?
Did you mean me?
You rang? I can't. So speaking of Carrion is asked why he chose to stay here, like in Sanisroth, right, at the castle, instead of going back to college. And he says, I have my reasons. But so here's, you guys know me, here's where I get a little wild. I think that this was not just like Carrion going, I have my reasons. Like, I think Carrion is up to something. And I have many receipts throughout these episodes of kind of what I'm talking about. But I think he has things and tasks that he is attempting to complete.
Okay.
I think we underestimate him a lot.
Yes, that's something I talk about in a lot of my notes. You see him become super useful in this book. Like, he's not just a dimwit there for comic relief.
And he even calls out Fisher at some point in the book, too. He's like, well, if you want me to, be the jester, I guess I will.
You don't trust me with anything. I'll just sit here in the snow and hold my stuff.
So, I want you guys to keep that, thought in your guys' minds. So, Onyx, that fox, bro. Onyx completed a journey that most Fae males could not survive. First of all, he was left in college. He trucked through multiple avalanches with no food or shelter and crossed a cold river, all while not getting eaten by vampires.
Yes.
That's wild. When I was reading this, I was like, if this fox dies, page 10, I might quit podcasting.
My note, I was like, okay, right out of the gate, first off, here's Onyx, right? Proving to be a very important character. Like, a lot of us were like, I feel like he's more than just, like, her animal companion.
I had a whole theory on it.
You sure did. But I also was like, my whole copy of Brimstone is literally covered in him. He's on the inside, he's on the front, he's all over the, like, paw prints everywhere. Why is he so important?
Yes.
He's a fox.
I've not watched our Quicksilver deep dives. My theory, I thought that Onyx was gonna be Kingfisher's mom's, like, so
We do find out.
She's around.
She's there.
She's not an Onyx, but she's there.
No.
I still don't think we know everything about Onyx. So, also, this is not a plot point. I just want to say it, that I want it to be known and reminded that Bill and Ada are alive. Our beloved horses.
Yeah.
They're alive and well, and that makes me so happy. I really thought that, like, they had this huge backstory. They don't. There's a little bit of, like, Lord of the Rings lore there per Callie, but you know what? I'm glad that they were mentioned first thing. I feel good about that. So, speaking of things that are alive, the God Swords are alive and well, too. Nimmerel is billowing smoke as Fisher used her, and Simon is with Carrion at this point in time.
Woo.
I have thoughts on when he misplaces his sword. Lorith is looking for Foley, right? So, if you guys were like, who the fuck is Foley? I know it in the bonus chapters, the Gate Part 1 and Part 2, Foley was part of the Lupercalia, and we originally thought we lost him, like in the Battle of Agen, but now he is a feeder-ish. He's in the Blood Court, like he's like hanging out there, but he doesn't serve an oath there. He didn't like bow to them, nothing like that. So he was saved by Tal. In this point in the book, though, they're like trying to find him.
I completely forgot about him.
Because he died.
Right. And then them first thing being like, I've been looking for him, and I'm like, looking for his body? Or what do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean? Well, and I thought maybe if anybody came back, it would be like Korith, right? Because that was also a member of the Lupercalia that they never gave us an ending for him.
Right. Yeah, true.
So I did not see that coming. He did come back in a logical way, I guess. Like, it made sense in the book, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just didn't see it coming.
Yeah, me
so
either.
good on you, Callie. The guys go out, they save Onyx. Onyx is dying from exhaustion and injuries, but we are now introduced to another part of the magic system within this story, and it's called small magic. And I really like small magic. Yeah, dances for small magic.
Me too.
Fisher has a little bit of that so-called small magic. And when he was younger, he notes that he hated it as a child because it was useless to him, right? And his mom says, never doubt your powers, sweet one. Each one of them is a gift. Each one will prove exactly enough when you have need of it. Have faith in yourself. You will always be enough. And if that, first of all, if that is not goals of being a mom, I don't know what is. I want to be Adina in another life. I hope that, like, my kids look at me. I'm like, trust yourself, sweet baby. You are enough. Like, so wise.
Words of wisdom.
Right?
Yeah.
But also, if everyone remembers, Girl is an oracle. She sees all, right? We learn a lot more about that in the book, but I bet you she knew that this would happen with Onyx. She knew that he would use this small magic to save him. And was like, it will come when you need it, babe. Okay, here's a question. To be or to not be an oracle? Yes or no?
No. I don't need to know. I don't.
She said absolutely not.
Hold on, let me tell you something about myself. I already overthink and stress out about my life in general on a day-to-day. Now, adding to that I know what my future looks like, I think would make it even worse. I think I would go crazy.
I think I'm the opposite.
I'd be in the nut house, bro.
She gone. Lock her up.
I would be, hold on. I would be Elaine and Akatar. I'd be sitting staring out my window. That would be me. Only speaking in riddles. That would be me.
You'd have Azrael behind you being like, hello, Elaine. I know you're crazy, but I really like you. I think that I would want to maybe be Oracle. Or at least, like, a little bit of Oracle. I feel better when I know things. I don't like surprises. She, like, jots it all down, and then you can, like, write letters and set everything up, and I'm like, that's great. I think I can handle it. Yes to being an Oracle. Adina handled it. She handled it.
She's a fae who is, let me reiterate, I'm 26 years old. She's a lot older than that.
I have no money.
She can handle a lot
prospects.
more things. Child.
I can strive to be Adina.
I do really like how much she goes into the explanation of how their magic system works. And I think I like it because it's very similar to, like, D&D vibes. Like Dungeons and Dragons. You have your own magic power, right? Your birthright. It can be regenerated. Yeah. You get too tired, go sleep for a night. Next day, you're fully back to full powers. Like, that's very D&D-like. And then you have your affinity magic, which you can also set up in your backstories of D&D. And if you don't know this about me, I play D&D. So it's already, like, set up in my brain that way. So I like that it mimics that, too. Because I was like, oh, yeah, I totally get it. Like, you got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But, like, this is really where all your power lies.
I agree. I like that there's many layers to it. I like that there's different types of magics. I like that there's different types of portals. It keeps me on my toes, and it makes it interesting, right? Because then I'm like, what kind of portal was that? What was happening? Like, what types of magic was this? Who else has that magic? And I feel like she has room to grow it as well. And somehow, some way, she does not have, like, a whiteboard around. She just jots it all down, like, here and there. I would love to just sit at a chair in her office and just watch her, like... she does all the things, and just like type and write things, and I just be like, wow, that's so cool. I'm watching, and I'm just...
the way her brain works.
Not to be... Yeah, exactly.
I'm over here with like color coded notes. Yeah.
Yes, everything is color coded for me for sure. So some members of the Fae didn't have access to small magics. It's like a birthright versus like an affiliate magic. A small magic wasn't part of a female or male's birthright. Here's a quote from Kingfisher, like my shadows were. We missed that the first time.
A lot of things. Let's move on. Just like we did when we read the book.
Yes. So he says, like my shadows were. So those are a birthright from his father. So the small magic was finite, he says, and could not fix Onyx all the way, but just enough, right? Just enough that he can like finish healing on his own. But all of that healing small magic that Kingfisher had is now gone forever. He like used 100% of it up on Onyx, and it wasn't enough. So theories that I have for book 3 are, will we see more of Corix and also Vash, who are, again, 2 members of the Lupercalia, who we don't know a lot about them, we don't know what's happening. But I think that they could come back in book 3, right? And then also, there is a conversation between Carrion and Kingfisher, where Carrion says, don't mind me, I only killed 4 feeders and saved Fisher's life. And Kingfisher says, and the day you save me on a battlefield, I'll put on a dress and dance a fucking jig. I think it's crazy, but I'm gonna put a theory out there that in book 3, it's gonna happen for real on a battlefield. And he's gonna be like, what color would you like your dress to be?
I don't think he's actually going to wear the dress, but I feel like the comment...
No, he definitely will not. I think the comment will come back around, and Carrion's gonna be like, I remember back when you told me that this would happen. So, that's what I think. And that's the prologue. Chapter 1, Hell's Teeth. So, recap of this chapter. Ceres gets a real look at herself since the change from human to what she is now. Carrion taunts Death Incarnate by catcalling Ceres, but Tal thankfully intervenes. Fisher promises not to be on his worst behavior while we all hail Queen Ceres, and Fisher arms her with a new dagger that she is to use on any vampire that looks at her wrong. All hail Queen Ceres. So, Ceres, as we know, is not human anymore. She is Fae, but she's also a vampire, so she's like half and half, right? She's a hybrid. As she calls it, touched by the gods. Because as we know, like, she went and spoke to literal gods, right? So, this is a big change for her. It's also noted that this is the first time in this chapter that Taladeus, which, if we remember, was second in command to Malcolm, basically one of the 5 lords. He is now Ceres's maker because when she was dying back at the end of Quicksilver, Tal bit her because he and Malcolm could bite someone and then turn them, but not straight into a feeder. So she's like kind of in this weird, like middle ground, half and half kind of place. But now, because
Right.
she is the one that killed Malcolm, she is now to be crowned Queen of Sanisroth.
She kind of has this weird
Your thoughts on that?
relationship that she has with the 3 boys, and it gives me love triangle vibes. You have Tal, who, like, loves her, respects her. They have this bond. You look this way, and you got Carrion, right, who's been her friend forever, also slept together. You turn the other way, and she's got Kingfisher, who has the full-on mating bond with her, like, God-bound mating bond. What a life Sarah's has. I wish I could be
Oh, I know.
Sarah's.
Callie did confirm that a wide shoes is not in Sarah's future.
I know.
In an interview, someone was like, "Is it gonna be wide shoes?" And she was like, she literally was like, "Did you read book 1?" Like, no. So yeah, no wide shoes. But I like the vibes.
Yeah.
And it is finally Sarah's time to actually become queen, right? And be like sworn in. And she cannot right now change any laws until she is officially the queen of Sanisroth. Then she can start like making some changes within to help end the war that's been happening. So there are 5 lords in total, including Taladeus, Zovina, Aerith, Hazrax, and Algit. We obviously know Talus. We heard about Zovina in the bonus chapters, but we have not really got to know her at all. So back to the God Swords, we learned that Solace, which if you remember was Kingfisher's father's sword, is still in the possession of Cerys. Okay, I have 2 questions. 1, was Finrin really around? Who is Finrin? Was Finrin the other name for Styx? Because we know at the end of this book that Styx, God of Shadows, is Kingfisher's dad. Is he real person? Is he not real person?
Okay, hold on. What if somehow with those shadows he could conjure up this other person that was known as Finrin, but it is not physically Styx? Like in D&D, mages have where they can put out this like image or a replica essentially of themselves, and they're safe somewhere else, but they're working this body without having to leave where they are.
All right, so theory number 1 is that Styx, God of Shadows, conjured of some sort, some way, a version of himself that obviously didn't look like himself, and then became Finrin, who was in the presence of a father figure for Kingfisher until he was like just a few years old. I like that theory. I also like the theory of there was another man who actually is Finrin, who was sent to Zilvarin and took Carrion with him, but he wasn't Kingfisher's real father.
Yeah, I could see that too. But who sent him?
So, like, in my mind, Adina and Styx, they have a whirlwind romance. They're in love. Everything's amazing. She gets pregnant. Something happens. They can't be together. Right? So they have to go their separate ways. So she meets Finrin. Finrin then takes the position of Kingfisher's father, is a real person, and then eventually is sent to Zilvarin with Carrion in tow to save him and save the royal bloodline. That's my theory. But I had good theories, and then Callie Hart like didn't make any of them come true. And then my other question is, who did Solace actually belong to? Because it was a true like god sword, right? So it had to belong to somebody. It didn't just belong to anybody.
Yes, right.
So we also know that Cerys now is immune to both silver and iron, which is good because she's half fae, half vampire, and also a little alchemist. So she's like got a lot of things going for her. And we learn this when Fisher gives Cerys a dagger that is made of silver because it was too much to carry Solace at her coronation. I think that's like putting down a woman for what she wants to carry, but whatever. Tal was like, that's a big statement. You probably shouldn't bring that. And Fisher's like, fine, here's a sword or a dagger.
He also tells Fisher not to bring his, and Fisher's like, the fuck I won't. I'm going to do it
like,
anyway.
That's hilarious. Good joke, Tal. Good joke. So, we get into one of my kind of favorite characters, side character-wise, right? I think he's like in my top 4. We learn that one of the lords is not like the rest. Hazrax is described as a pale, strange thing that clearly was not a member of the Fae. It was dressed in a pristine white robe. Its eyes were solid black orbs, its skin translucent, an unnaturally wide slit served for its mouth, bristling with tiny, jagged teeth. Black veins formed a network of spiderwebs across the backs of its 2 large, webbed hands. So creepy.
A little uncomfy. Just
So
a little
creepy.
uncomfy. I think if I saw him in real life, like, if I was really Cerys, I would be like, but reading it, I'm like, I really like this guy.
Yeah. I am one of those people where I'm like, okay, don't look, I'm looking. Don't look. Like, I can't help but, like, stare.
Yeah.
And we all know that as much as I try, I cannot control my facial emotions.
No.
The term schooled my face into neutrality is not in my fucking dictionary. I try. I'm like,
Do you?
immediately. I do try.
I don't know if you try.
It's my 2026 New Year's resolution to be able to school my face into neutrality.
It takes 14 days to create a habit. So for 14 days, you need to work really, 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 really hard on it. And then after 14 days, you won't have to.
What face do I make instead? And I'm worried. I'm worried that if I stop using my face to say my emotions, I'm going to start using my words, and it's going to be worse.
I thought you were going to be like, I'm going to have resting bitch face. And I'd be like, I don't know which one's worse.
I don't know. At least one has an excuse. But the Hazorax was very interesting to me. We learned so much about him, and I have a lot of thoughts. When we're in, like, the coronation, one of the lords is complaining that Cerys was not good enough to kill Malcolm, right? And Cerys mentions that a god's sword will make worm food out of any of us, no matter who wields it, but regardless. My question is, why not Madra? Why not Belicon, right? Because in chapter 48, way towards the end of the book, Fisher literally cuts off Belicon's head. He is not dead, because you have to kill all three of them. Right? As it says in book 1. You have to get rid of all three.
Right.
But we know that the only reason Malcolm died was because he bit Carrion and then was beheaded by Cerys. So it was like a double whammy, right?
Yeah.
So, like, what magic are they using that is literally above a god sword?
I feel like the witches. It's got to be something crazy. Something they intertwined into their spell. I don't know.
I have a theory that I want to, in this episode, I will tell you, but
Okay.
I want to let it simmer because I just thought of it. I was like, what if? So, we are not introduced to Zovina officially in this chapter, but, like, she was the one who was like, you didn't kill my dad. You're not good enough. Cerys is like, well, I did.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Suck it. I was really hoping she was not going to be an absolute twat this whole book. Like, I get that Cerys has, like, Carrion and Kingfisher and Onyx. Like, I know. But, like, Cerys deserves a gal pal, right? Carrion hits on her too much to be a gal pal. He's, like, the closest thing that she has to a gal pal.
Yeah.
But, like, I was really hoping...
No, her name is Zovina. My superpower. Her name is Zovina. Tell me that's not a bitch's name. Okay.
Oh, my God.
We can go through
Zo
this
for
book.
short.
Yeah, which is even worse. We could have gone through this book and you
can't.
could have just read the names to me and I could have been like, bitch, not gonna
Bitch,
work, not friend.
Bitch, not bitch.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Can't trust her. Her name's Zovina. Just like Danya.
No, but I had hope.
Just like Danya.
Okay, she
Zovina,
upset me a little bit in this book.
Zovina? Danya?
It's the Yas. It's the Yayas. Raise your
Yeah, sisters.
Can we be the Yaya sisters from now on?
No!
Why? We're bitches sometimes.
Only sometimes.
We just talked about my face. Like, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I want Cerys to have a gal pal. She deserves to have a glass of wine with some girls and chill the fuck out. And you know what I don't see Everlane doing in this book? Awake. Being awake. She's sleeping. Also, I don't see her having a glass of wine. I don't think she's that kind of girly.
No. Maybe, what was I just gonna say? Taylena.
You could do Taylena. Taylena could.
She would be a great gal pal.
Can she, like, let loose? You know, can she talk a little bit of shit? Not too much. Can she talk a little shit?
Probably
I don't know. Ishabal could. Ishabal would be a good one.
Is she trustworthy, though?
Well, you don't talk, like, crazy stuff, right? You don't tell her anything wild. You just talk a little bit of shit.
What's the point of having a gal pal?
I don't know. Anything that I say, like when I'll say it, like,
Camera will be used
will say it to
against
their
you in
face.
court of law.
Use it. I'll admit it. It's fine. I'm not that kind of girl. I'll be upfront. I'll be honest.
Fair.
So, theories from this chapter that I have for book 3. We learn a lot about even light, right? Because, like, we know that fire is bad for the vampires. So they use what's called even light. I kind of think I have a theory. I kind of don't know, right? All I know is that this even light was used over 40 times in this book. That's a lot, right? There is even a celebration not only in Zilvarin, but also in Sanisroth. They're like celebrating this thing. And it's a huge deal. And I think maybe Callie will take it away from them or like something along those lines, right? Fisher calls it the even light, the spirit of the gods. Will the gods get mad and take it away? Right? Even those who do not believe in the gods still bowed to the even light at that like event they had in the palace. It's huge.
Yeah, it's important. Book 3, even light.
The title. That's Cass's theory. Book 3.
That's my theory. That's my theory.
You know, because if you think about it, it kind of works. Because it's can be like Callie Hart, even light. It would fit on the page. Because you have Callie Hart, Quicksilver. Callie Hart, Brimstone. Like 4 lines. So it has to fit in the 4 lines, right, to match.
Yeah. What else are they going to call
Even
it?
light.
Brimstone Part 2? Won't fit.
They're going to call it B-Stone.
Part 2.
Part 2. I don't know. I like that as a theory for the name of book 3. I do.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else that she might use. She'll probably pull out
once we get
something
into these episodes,
crazy out of her back pocket, and I'll be like, oh, okay.
Ah, there it is. That makes sense, actually. I never thought of that. There was quite a bit of character growth, I think, between, like, the beginning, like the prologue and now, though. Like, for Taladeus, like, I think we get a little bit of insight into who he is.
Yeah,
what do you think about him?
I liked him a lot before. I don't know why. I feel like ever since he's been introduced, I've been like, I trust that guy. And I don't know if it's because Kingfisher still in some way trust him or like will choose to speak to him on matters, but like doesn't trust the rest of the Blood Court. So I'm like, well, if Kingfisher likes him, there's got to be something good in him. But I really like him now. Even the end of the book, I love him even more. But I like how much we get to see of who he really is and kind of his thoughts and how he runs his life. Because he was kind of like a mystery before. So.
Yes. Yeah, he was. I had a moment or two where I was like, are you about to double cross us, bro?
I had one moment like that. And I was like, God damn it, Ren's right. And then I was like, no.
Yeah.
Put my faith and trust in this man.
Yeah, right? I'm like, why would we not listen to Renfist? I trust Renfist too.
Right.
I don't know. So,
I don't know.
Chapter 2, Hall of Tears.
Yes. All right. Overall recap. Okay, we meet the 5 lords of the Blood Court and listen to 4 out of 5 of them.
6, 7.
Dallas wrote 6, 7.
6, 7.
We listened to 4 out of 5 of them bitch about a human now turned half-blood killing Daddy Malcolm and taking his place while the Hazrax, one of the 5, takes notes like it's Gossip Girl. Sarah drinks from Kingfisher to show that she is a badass vampire but ends up making both of them fight for their lives from orgasming right in front of the whole court. And that's what you missed on Glee.
Yes.
So, right off the bat, we meet the other vampire lords, okay? Last chapter, right, we saw a glimpse of some of them, but let's just do a little roll call real quick to remember who is who. So, Zovina, obviously, we talked a little bit about her. She is the Keeper of Missives, and she was once a liaison, and she has a past with Tal. Not anymore, though. We have Aerith, who is Keeper of the Even Light, the leader of religious zealots that follow one of the demon gods. Important demon gods, okay? He wants to drain the magic from Yuvalia and have people kept as slaves so that vampires can run free. And we have the Hazrax, who is the Keeper of Silence. He's the last of its kind, just watches for years due to deal made with Malcolm. Literally, Gossip Girl. And then we have Algot, which is the Keeper of Records. She was a witch, cast out for using dark magic, youngest of the lords, even though she looks the oldest. Thank you, Kingfisher, for noting that. And he also calls her pure evil. Okay, so we kind of meet all 5 from Kingfisher, and Sarah's having conversations in her mind while the coronation is happening. Okay, the Hazrax gives off cereal vibes for me. And I love that, because I love the cereal.
He knows all the things. There he is.
I carry him with me. No, I'm just kidding.
We love to say we
But I brought him here for this reason. But he gives off those vibes, and that's also why I think I trusted the Hazrax from the beginning. I was like, this thing's going to be important.
That's fair.
And I like him.
I really liked Alkit at first. I was like, this bitch is badass. And then she kicked the cat, and I was like, I'm out. I'm done. No. I was like, yeah, girl, you're old, young-ish, and you do whatever you want. And she's
she
like,
made me
in those faces.
She made me super uncomfortable. I can't relate.
Yeah, I liked
No
her a
thanks.
lot until she kicked her cat. Because I was like, she has a cat. Like, there's a cat introduced. Finally. It's my time. I'm a cat person.
Finally.
I love him. Little shadow cats.
It is a shadow cat.
It is right? Saris has a dog. Kingfisher has a cat. They have a family. It didn't go that way.
No.
Whatever.
No.
Whatever.
It's fine. Okay, so Zovina does not want Saris as queen for being only half vampire because she doesn't need to drink blood to survive like the rest of them. Okay? I just want to put in here that Zovina is a literal bitch. Cannot stand her. Again, like I said, just from her name, I knew I was gonna hate her. But I had to look this up, okay? Because I was like, what the heck is the Keeper of Missives? I'm like, why does she talk so damn much? Keeper of Missives. She is essentially the keeper of official letters, which you have a theory. Actually, not even a theory.
So
I feel like it's confirmed.
oh, it's a fact.
Yeah.
I think it's confirmed. So
Yeah.
we were actually you and I were on the phone while I was at the store and we were talking about this. So it makes a lot of sense because the guys wrote letters to Foley for years and he never received them or responded, right? Which we find out later as like Saris goes on and then she like pins Zovina down and she's like, you're gonna give all those letters to him now, like right now you're gonna go do it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think like Keeper of Missives is very well known of what that means. Like, right? We had to look it up. I was like, what's that mean? You had to look it up, right?
Right.
So I think when we're reading this story the first time, I originally thought, I was like, oh, Zovina's just a bitch and she took them because she's mean. Right? Like she just found the letters and she was like, nope, you're not getting these. But like they literally went through her to get to the court.
Right. That's her
because
job.
she is the keeper of them. It's literally her job, which is so interesting. And I think it's so quickly looked over because we're like, yes, keeper of whatever's, keeper of this, keeper of that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Just like I want to talk about Aerith soon, the keeper of even light.
Right.
So yes, it's interesting.
I have comments on that as well. Yeah.
So hear me out.
No.
Here I go again. Yes, here I go again. As I do in all the books that we talk about. I need merch for these evil bitches. I need sweatshirts that have Daniel on them. Okay, so I think that Zovina might just a teeny tiny little bit have a right to be upset about this change.
No.
Because, hear me out.
I'm hearing you.
Because Malcolm has been the only leader of this court for a really long time, right? He dies. R.I.P. She isn't even given a chance to rule the court, right? Because of the laws and how like things are playing out, right? But can you imagine if at your workplace your supervisor dies and all of a sudden a brand new teeny baby 20-year-old, and I'm only saying that because you're only 26. So I'm like, tiny baby 20-year-old can't even go out and have a beer with you after work, is now a leader of your workplace and is in charge of everything. I would be fucking pissed. And I'm not saying she handled it great, but like, I think that I would have been like, excuse me, this is unacceptable. You have no right to be in that position. You have no training. You have no criteria. You have nothing. I think I'd be mad. I'm not saying she's not a bitch. I do think she is, right? She's not like, I'm not fighting for her like I'm fighting for Dania. I'm just saying that, like, I think more people of the court should be like, who are you? Why is this happening?
That's not how Malcolm created the court, right? Malcolm made all of this. She is literally, Taladeus mentions this, and so does Kingfisher, I think. She has literally been the favorite of Malcolm since the beginning. She is a trust fund baby of Daddy Malcolm, okay?
I thought it said that Tal was a favorite, which is why they aren't that close to Tal.
But Zovina, at one point, I'm going to find it, because they talk about how she has never had anybody go against her. She's never had to fight for her position. She's always been perfect little angel.
She's Daddy's little girl.
And like, yes, yeah. So it just makes it even worse because I don't like her. Didn't like her at all.
Yeah.
And I understand what you're saying. But of all of them there, she's still not the one I think that would rise up into that position or has probably
definitely. I mean, no.
It's like,
I don't think she should be in that position.
It's like when you're at work, okay, then, and they're like, well, then who do you think should take this spot?
Taladeus.
Or maybe even Aerith.
Literally,
right?
But Saris.
Maybe. But then you still have Zovina, who is like this kid in the middle okay, who's always been a favorite, gets whatever she wants, gets promoted because she's a favorite. She's like, I want to be it. I deserve it. And you're like, no, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's her.
No, and I'm not saying that she should run the court. I'm not saying that she deserves anything more. I'm just saying that if I was to look at it from her perspective, I would probably, if I didn't speak out like real words and say what she's saying, I would have the worst, like, judgmental face ever the whole time.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, why is nobody upset about this? Malcolm only made that rule because he's cocky and he didn't think he would die.
Right. He wants to be in control of everything. So he's like, here are all these rules and this is how it's going to work. And sorry, boo, that's not how the rules play out. You followed them for years. Now it's coming back and it's biting you in the ass.
Yeah, it's wild. I'm just saying. Give it grace.
So, while they bicker back and forth, Ceres shares a moment with Algot. They lock eyes, and she has almost like visions. She is seeing the third, she sees Hayden, she's fighting with Heron in the palace, she sees her and Kingfisher being intimate, and then they kind of snap out of it, and you realize that, whoa, that was Algot, okay? Algot's a keeper of records, okay? We know that she resides over the library, and we know that she's a witch. So is that like part of her witchy powers? Being able to like file through people's brains like that? Is that why she's the keeper of records?
I would think so. That's my guess, because I don't think other people within the Blood Court, like excluding Kingfisher and Ceres, have those powers.
Right. So I'm like, is that because she's a witch? Is that where she gets that power
That would be my guess. That would be my guess. I feel like that's a logical explanation.
Okay. And then you have Carrion, who shows up. He doesn't show up. He's there. But then he cuts in with his little comment, do you think I can smoke in here? Which all of them are like, don't freaking light that in here. What are you doing? Shut up.
What are you doing?
But he always comes in at like really serious moment, and then Carrion's like, can I smoke? You got a lighter? Help me.
Does anyone have a light? Can I bum one?
Yeah, right?
Ugh, I can't. Algot's power kind of stresses me out, right? I think it's the worst power in the whole place.
She's terrifying.
Like, I would
That's
want
why you're
the
like,
power
I like her.
because I would use it, but it's scary.
Yeah.
I'm like, I like that lady. I want to be in people's minds. You won't get this reference, but like for our listeners, yes, for our listeners, if you have read like Zodiac Academy, Ruthless Boys, I would be a basilisk. That's mine. You don't understand that reference. One day I will convince you to read the series, but until then, it's on our Audible.
It's on my TBR. It's on my TBR. I just got to finish Lightlark first. And a few others.
Okay, so when you say you did a finish Lightlark, are you saying finish Lightlark for the 17th time or finally move on to fucking book 2? You keep re-listening to Lightlark, Cass. Because
it's such a good book. Alex asked her, send me a copy. I don't have a copy.
Girl, I'll buy you a copy of book 2 so you can read it.
No, I'm like halfway through book 2.
You did.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
I'm halfway through book 2. No, I mean the series in general. I need to finish the series.
Finish it.
I can't finish it because more's coming out, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
One final book.
Woohoo.
I don't know.
Okay.
So when we're learning about Aerith, we learn that his followers are, again, religious zealots, and they worship one of the demon gods, as you said before. Did we just all casually read past this line? Or, like, when did demon gods become a thing? Did I miss that somewhere in book 1?
No.
Because I, like, went back and tried to look, and I was like, hello? Demon god? We have regular gods, right? There's 7 of them. Where are the demon gods? What are their names? What do they look like? Where do they live? Where are they? I'm like, hello?
See, I definitely read right past it and was like, yeah, the many forms of religion. Those who worship
the forms of
the
religion.
demons.
Yes. No, I saw that and I was like, the who's? The what? And I don't think they're the same as the regular gods. I think they're different, like a different set of gods.
I don't know. We definitely have we had a conversation about this, and I'm sure we'll get real deep into it when we get towards the end. But yeah, I don't think they are.
I do remember there being like, so there's like Zareth, Balmithon, which is right, Bal and Mython. We have Styx, Curran, Nisanai, and Meleus. I'm probably pronouncing a couple of those wrong. I'm so sorry. I haven't. Yeah. I do remember there being forgotten gods, right, in Quicksilver. So maybe that's where they're lingering, is like in the forgotten god realm.
Maybe.
I don't know. And then my other question is, are some of these gods like a red herring? Are some of them important and some of them are just like nothing, right? Like when we were in book 1, we were like Zareth, Balmithon, Zared, Balmithon. Like these are the big gods that we need to pay attention to. And then we rolled right over Styx. So now I have to look at everything and be like, who are you? Where's Demon God? Hello?
Yeah.
Right?
She's sneaky like that.
So
She's
are some of
sneaky
them
like
red
that.
herrings? She's so sneaky. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I have questions.
So, according to rules and laws, Eris does not need to drink blood to be crowned, okay? But Zovina, Aerith, and Algot think that she needs to show her alliance and that she is a part of them, a part of the blood court, by drinking. This part made me laugh. Algot calls her
Same.
a virgin, and Eris gets so upset. She's like, "Excuse me? Girl,
Actually, I'm not.
don't embarrass yourself like that."
She's like, calm down,
and then
girl.
she's like,
That's not what I was talking about.
Right. Drinking blood. Forgot I was like talking
Got it.
vampires here. KKK.
Oops. It killed me.
So, to kind of like throw them off of that, she shows them that she can stop her heart from beating, which is something that Tal taught her, like a little party trick to be like, see if you can show them this. Maybe they'll take it as enough. Guess what? Of course they don't. They're like, oh, so you can choose to be like us? You can choose when you want to be like us? Absolutely not. Prove that you're like us. So Kingfisher offers to have her drink his blood so that it's just over with. She can be crowned. She won't have any guilt. And I understand him offering, okay? But we learned from book 1 that this is like a super sexual thing within the Fae to drink blood. Okay? It's not like a normal thing.
Yeah. Well,
and when you talk about it, right. But when you talk about it, even Lorth talking about it in the bar, he was like, this is not something we talk about in public. Okay?
Yeah, it's very taboo.
Yes. So, is it super sexual? And she's going to do this in front of the whole court with her mate? Yes. She stalls, okay, which we later find out is called dosing, the act of starting to bite, pausing, right? Because she's injecting something then into him. And then he finally gets her to drink before he loses his mind. And at the same time, she starts to realize, shit, I'm losing my mind. Which is kind of crazy. A few things happen here with that. So, 1, she gets a tattoo, which I didn't notice, or I completely forgot about. You mentioned it, though. You were like, this is important. She gets a tattoo.
Yeah, they get tattoos all the time from each other. Like, every time something romantic happens, like, another tattoo shows up.
Yeah.
I wish that tattoos worked like this IRL. Like, in real life. That'd be amazing.
But you don't get to choose what they are, though. They just
But they
show
all look
up.
good. Yeah, it makes it better. It's not just like this random photo off of Google. You're like, I want this on my body. I'm saying that because I've done it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so, yes, more tattoos have been happening.
Yes, this is also where I'm a little bit of a dummy. But she mentions how after she stops drinking, she looks around the court as they all cheer, okay? And that she sees the court in a different light. That the Hall of Tears no longer are like the gargoyles crying, but they're like smiling and cheering. Everything looks beautiful, okay? I thought she is seeing it in a different light because she finally drank blood and is now like a real vampire, okay?
No, girl, she high as fuck.
No, my dumbass was wrong, and it wasn't until the next chapter when Lorth is making fun of, like, Kingfisher being like, she dosed you in front of all them? How'd you keep it together? That she was, like, literally high on ecstasy from the dosing, and that's why it looks like that. Not the fact that she is drinking blood because she's a vampire. Anyways, that's my note of embarrassment for this chapter.
That's so
I'm like, wow, she's
iconic.
a real vampire now.
I'm a real boy. Yeah, no, she's just gone. That's so funny.
Yeah.
So, as of this chapter, what are do you have any theories?
So, theories that I had from Quicksilver was that Ceres was not going to become queen, okay? Because I feel like in any time in a show, a book, a movie, whatever, if they say, this is going to happen in 2 days' time, something always happens, whether that be good or bad, and that does not come true, okay? Something drastically changes. Yeah. So I really thought we were going to come in and have this huge fight, or something was going to happen and she wasn't going to be crowned queen, but she does. She becomes queen of the Blood Court. So that was one of my theories that was debunked.
We'd be humble.
But yeah.
That is a lot of time for shit to go wrong. So I feel like that was a good theory.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could happen. So, Chapter 3, Dose. Ceres is dealing with the after effects of Fisher not telling her all the details once again, as she is basically on the homeopathic version of ecstasy. Thankfully, Fisher is in somewhat of his right mind because the Lord attempts to unalive Ceres. Ceres flexes her new little title and makes everyone shut the fuck up and get on their knees. Our beloved boys, Lorith and Renfis, are finally back in our lives once again, but they are still just guys talking about balls and marriage. And once again, Callie leaves us on a cliffhanger in a chapter.
Typical.
So, typical. God damn you.
Typical.
So, we're going back to, yes, Aerith, right? The keeper of even light. He pulls a blade on Ceres, but Kingfisher, as we know, saw it coming and used Nemerel, which is laced with silver and iron, not just a Quicksilver, to kill him, right? Aerith tells Fisher before he dies that Ceres is anathema, or cursed. And shout out to the book Anathema. If you've never read it, everyone needs to read it. It's the best. I read that and I was like, I love that book. But they're not talking about the book here. They're talking about the word. It has other meanings. And so she's anathema or cursed, and that the gods denounce her. When Fisher shows him their god-bound markings he has on him, he's like, we're literally god-bound. Like, they're protecting her. They're not denouncing her. Aerith clarifies that those do not matter to him because they have different gods. And this is another key reason why I think that there's another set of gods.
But do they, though? Do they? Because this was the conversation we were having, where we have all this crazy mixture of things coming in, different names, different titles, different ways that it's used. He says something like this, and then he ends up being a freaking emissary, right? Like, questions.
I know.
Callie.
I do too. I have a lot of questions. So, once things calms down, Ceres gives her first command as queen. Everyone is to greet her on their knees. With the same breath, makes her second commandment. Additionally, from this moment forward, no feeder enthralled to a high blood of this court may be used for the purpose of war, malice, or mayhem. I've spoken. It is done. Goddamn. Such a boss. Yes, girl. I don't know if I would have made the same thing. Like, would I have been smart enough to be like, and for my second command?
Okay, here's a comment that I made. Because she is a badass, okay, in this moment. But we also know that she absolutely sucks at making deals or bonds, right? Like, she knows that she can't, like, misword something. But tell me, like, how is this command so well thought out and worded? Like, who prepared her for this? Did Tal prepare her and was like, this is what you need to say? Or did she work on it with Kingfisher? Or did she really just, like, snap into that role of power and was like, by the way, and somehow she just gets a very well-worded command out for the first time in her life?
I think maybe a mixture, right? The guys are like, hey, like, these, you know, are some things that need to be said. Like, you need to make sure that this, like, the goal is to, like, get rid of the horde, right? Like, all the things. So I feel like it was probably a conversation, but then when she was up there, she was like, right, like, I think when she was like, I have spoken, it is done. Like, I think that was her wording.
Yeah.
I think she's like, this is what we're doing. So I think both.
I can see that. It's fair.
So, yeah, Renfis and Lorith, two best boys, they're back. And I don't have a theory on this. I just really liked hearing their voices again. It was like, when I was listening to the audiobook, I felt like I was listening to, like, two old friends showing up that I haven't seen in a really long time. And I was, like, literally giddy over it. I was like, there's my boys. They're back.
Yeah. Yeah.
It made me so happy.
That's how I felt when I heard Lorith. I was like, my baby. I love him so much.
Yes. I was like, Renfis, there you are. Like, I didn't know that I needed that in my life. I was like, oh yeah, like Kingfisher and Ceres, like, we're back, we're in it. And then I was like, damn it, I miss these guys. You know?
Yeah.
Yes.
There are so many men that I would love to be between in this book. Lorith and Ren are one of those fantasies.
I think there's a woman on this planet that would disagree with you.
I don't think so either.
Yes, we all... I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I don't know. Only ones that want to be underneath Danya.
Who would want that? Who would want that?
People. Danya's is Carrion.
Ugh.
Carrion wants to be underneath Danya.
Carrion wants to be under everybody.
That's true. That's true. So, back to Foley. right? The member of the Lupercalia that died, but then is like around still. We eventually learned a little bit about that, right? So he was bitten by Tal at Adjin, and it turned him. He couldn't deal with the guilt of those he fed off of, so he left the pack and never returned. However, his return is important because he is the grandson of an alchemist, but not an alchemist himself. Like, it's not genetic.
It's weird.
It's not, like, passed down. I thought that was interesting.
I don't know. It's weird. He knows, like, so much about it, too, that we find out throughout the book. Like, all this information is just stored in his brain. Like, that's wild.
Yes, it is pretty wild. No, you're not wrong. And then we also know that Lorith is kind of prodding about performing the rite, like, between Kingfisher and Ceres, which is, like, where they get married, right? Fisher is like, absolutely the fuck not. We're not getting married. I don't need to have a wedding. And at first I was like, bro, what do you mean? What if Ceres wants to, right? And we will get into this. We'll get into this very soon about like why all the things, right? But then Danya bursts in and says something is happening. End of chapter. Something's going on. And that's where she leaves us on a cliffhanger, right? The dramatics. He's like, come quick. Something's wrong. Something was wrong. Yeah. So, theory that came to fruition from Quicksilver. So, one of the theories was that Kingfisher would be able to have most, if not all, of the Quicksilver removed from his eye. That did come true. We know that Telena and Ishabel were been working together to remove the Quicksilver. Here's where it was half debunked, right? Alyssa's theory was that Ceres would have to do something big to help Fisher get the silver removed. Like, we thought it was going to be like a real journey. But it was much easier than that. It was just like, it's gone. I'm done.
Yeah.
Wrap it up. Move on. And this was the one thing, like, and when I say this, like, I love this book, right? Like, I love everything about it. I love Brimstone. I love the series. One of the things that I really liked about book 1 was all of the shit that the Quicksilver did. It was cocky. It was arrogant. It was selfish. It was needy. It was funny. It was mean. Like, I think we get, like, 4 lines from the Quicksilver in this book. It just wasn't something that I was expecting. I think I went in expecting the Quicksilver to do all of the things that it had done before, right? But now it's, like, tamed in... Yeah, it's tamed in his eye now. It's tamed in the God Swords. And eventually she gets to the point where she doesn't have to command it or make a deal with it or give it anything or serenade it with a song or anything. She just wills it to happen, which I know is good for her growth. But I did feel like that was like a huge part of what made the book one.
Yeah. Well, and that's something
so that was interesting.
Like, going off of that, right? Book 2 is called Brimstone. Okay. Book 1 is called Quicksilver. The whole book is about Quicksilver. Okay. Does Brimstone become important? Do we need Brimstone in this book? Yes. There's an element to it. But, like, still, it's something that was only talked about a little bit, right? We talk about it a few times when Archer comes along. And then we talk about it a little bit more at the end when they go through this portal again. But that's really it. I don't know. I just thought that it would... Since it was the name of the book, once I realized that the name of the book is important, that we would either see it more, they would follow it more. I don't know, you know? I just, like the Quicksilver, like it was constantly there, constantly being talked about. And I feel like it wasn't in this book.
Yeah, it is interesting because there's 3 books to this series and then like 5 like books, but they're like off, like spin-offs in a way, as far as we know. So it's all supposed to be wrapped up, for the most part, by the end of the next book. But we did so much world building in this book. I don't know how she's going to wrap it all up in a bow by the end. Right. I'm nervous.
It's going to be a big-ass book. It's going to be a big book.
Right? Yeah, I was like, how? My hope is that she's like, JK, there's 4 more books coming. You know, like...
Yeah.
There's just
or maybe
so much.
At least another one or 2 more, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
don't know if this could be a trilogy.
Right. I just think it's too big to be just a trilogy.
Yeah.
I don't know. But either way. Theories for book 3. Demon gods be doing something. Demon gods are going to be around. I can feel it. Okay. There's another theory that we're going to get into, which we've mentioned it before.
Yeah. So for character plot twist, Aerith, dead. Okay. He was the keeper of Even Light. This is where Dallas is going to come in with a theory. But what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah. Right? If the keeper of Even Light is gone, then who is monitoring it? like, what the fuck did he even do in this job? Maybe it was like,
Right.
maybe it was important, right? Maybe he was like categorizing where the even like came from and making sure everything was lit. And like, I don't know, like what did he do? Where did he get it from? Where is it coming from, right? Or was it just like a title, right? Where they knight someone and then we have to call them sir, but it's literally just more letters on a piece of paper.
Right. Well, we do know that because when she tries to make the Fifth Lord, or picks the Fifth Lord, right? They
It's
come
not
in
another
with
keeper
their
of the light.
reasoning of who they are. Yes, they come in
And
with the
why they
reasoning of who
deserve to
they
be in
are, and
that
they
job.
ask. Yes, and they also give themselves a new name. They're like, I would like to be called this. Like one of the ladies is like, I want to
So
be
what
Keeper
did
of
he
Pain.
do?
Right. I
Bet.
don't know.
So what did he do with the even light? I don't know
Right.
either. I don't know.
Okay, chapter 4, 114. 8-feeders show up moving like they crawled their way out of The Last of Us, and they cannot be killed. Anytime you try, they take it and they use it against you. Sounds like my mother-in-law. Danya and Kingfisher become barbecue, and Danya gets a new haircut. That is
Danya.
chapter 4 wrapped up. Okay, so we're diving right on in. Things are getting crazy,
Yep.
all right? Danya bursts in. She's like, get out here. What the actual fuck are those feeders, okay? The shock and anxiety that I felt listening to this, they absorb the magic. Okay, first off, all of them move like one, like a hive mind.
Yes.
Cue The Last of Us. Okay, they all move the same jerky, weird way. They're all at the same point as they make their way across the ice, into the water, out of the water. The boys start shooting off their magic. They're like, pew, pew, pew. They're absorbing the magic into their chest, and then they can use the magic. It becomes them. I started thinking of so many ways after that. I was like, oh my god, how are they going to kill him? Can they do this? Can they do this? Every single way that I thought of, they try, and guess what? It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Yep, exactly.
Wild.
We know from later in the book that they are probably coming from Madra through a gate. Fisher claims they have to come from someone more powerful than Malcolm. And we will get into like how Madra is super powerful and like all the things in a later episode. But in book 1, she is only portrayed as ditzy, idiot, mean, like queen. Underestimated.
Yep. Is she? I also have a theory that has to go along with this that we'll talk about a little bit later as well. But I have thoughts on Madra. But
Yes,
yeah,
we are going to dive deep into Madra.
Yeah, we are. Danya and Kingfisher end up jumping on one of the feeders while it's on fire. Okay, this thing's lit up.
Get it.
Like the 4th of July, and they're like, get it! And they jump on it. They go up in flames. All right? Taylena literally has to heal them. And at one point, he is talking about looking over at Danya and just how charred her body is. Her hair's gone. Like, her skin is melting. I felt so bad. Like, Kingfisher is a badass. Okay, so of course he's gonna do that. But Danya, if anybody knows me, I absolutely hate this woman. Okay? I hate her with all the passion in my body. I really felt bad for her. When they were talking about like her burns and stuff, I was like, holy shit. Also, what a badass of her. That's a lot.
Which is why she's a huge part of the pack. Like, she is a good warrior.
Yeah, she can be.
She's a good warrior. She's bald. She's bald and she's torturing people who have hair. When I read that, they were like, and all of her hair. I was like, she's bald. She's bald and she's torturing people who have hair.
Sad.
I killed it.
So sad.
It was like Rita. I was like, what is happening?
So sad.
Is gone. So in this moment, like right before everything happens, the Quicksilver actually talks to Fisher, right? And this is where I was like, oh, it's happening. It's back. It's me and it's here. I'm ready. Right? It tells Fisher it won't work. Right? Like right before like they set it on fire. It's like, it won't work. That's not gonna work. Why does this material know everything?
Because it's ancient. That's the only answer I have for you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But I have questions. Like, and we really don't get a lot of answers of like backstory of the Quicksilver. I thought we would be like, and it comes, we're gonna go back to the tree and we're gonna talk to the gods again. Like none of that happens, right? I was like, shit. So also, can we take a moment to recognize that Fisher just casually asks Nimmerell not to use magic in the moment? Can Morell hear everything? Because we know it. So if you've read the bonus chapters, you know that in the Gate Part 1, Part 2, that Morell was the twin sister of Renfish. She died, and they put her soul, the gods, like when they gave Kingfisher his god sword, Morell's soul went into the sword. And so when he was fighting, they said, Nine Morell, for Morel, which is where the name Nimmerel came from, right? So he literally is about to like swing up on this feeder and he's like, hey, no magic, please. Thank you. And she's like, bet. Is she just casually hearing everything that's happening in these conversations all the time?
Or is it because it's a god sword and you can like command your god sword when you're bonded to them?
But he
Right, 'cause,
tells
like-
everyone else not to use their swords, right? He's like, don't use your swords. But then he's like,
Well, he says
no magic.
He says don't use your magic because I would think that Lorith can use his sword without using
Like the
angel's
yeah,
breath.
the angel's breath.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, what kind of sword would
I
it
don't know.
be if you can't use it unless you're using the magic? That's like a useless sword. What if you just got to do combat, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know if I would practice combat with my god sword, but I'd probably use a different sword just to be safe. I just assumed that they were all magic all the time. I'd be like, you know what I mean? Like, use like a different sword, like a less deadly sword.
So then there's
One that will
carrying two
just
swords
maim
around
you.
with them forever?
For practice, yeah.
Nah.
In combat, I need
think they're
everybody to
using I think they're using their swords all the time.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
So
That's a good question.
that is. They literally end up chaining these feeders to trees, okay? So that they can't get away, so that they're stuck where they are. But then they start becoming the tree, okay? And you kind of see this black goo start spreading down the tree and outward, which we later find out is rot, okay? Which spreads everywhere.
We knew the rot was coming, right? Like,
Yeah.
back in book 1, like, the bonus chapters, all the things, we knew that the rot was happening. Because realms are dying from it already. So I find it interesting that they think that it's coming from Madra, and they think that she's, like, getting them here somehow, and now they're spreading it, right? I also think that Renfish jinxed everybody, because in previous chapters, he was like, I just want peace. Ren, no. You jinxed them. Because immediately afterwards, the universe is like, ha, bitch. Good luck. Yeah, and we also learn that Renfish hates Taladeus. I get it, only because we learn, obviously, that, like, Tau and Everlane, right, like, there's history there, and, like, there's history with, like, him and, like, Taladeus and Foley, so, like, I understand Renfish's, like, hesitation towards Tau, and the fact that he's still kind of lingering around. But I also get it that, like, Kingfisher doesn't feel that way. I'd like to know Everlane's thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of get it, but at the same time, he's always been around, and he's always been, like, on their side in some way. So I just want to know what kind of inkling he's still having about him, that he just can't fully trust him, so.
I think Renfish has feelings for Everlane, and I think it was hard that maybe she chose Tau.
Yeah,
so
I
I think
could see
he's
that.
just like, I don't trust you, motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
Also, we learned that they lost 114 warriors during this incident, and Kingfisher is going to open a portal to Kalish and carry them all back one at a time. So now we know why the chapter was named 114. Also, is this like protocol? Why is no one helping? Why is no one like, we'll help you, we'll all carry a body and go behind you, and that way, you know, more hands make less work? Or is it just like a pride thing? Like, I'm gonna carry all 114 bodies on my own.
I think it's kind of like the pride thing. Maybe not so much pride, but like honor. Because he was gone for so long, right? And all the people he lost then that he just wasn't there for. So maybe it's just his way of being commander that he's like, this is what I do to honor them. Because I should have been there to help them through this moment. I don't know.
I feel like I would not be a good leader because I'd pick up one and be like, all right, guys, everyone grab somebody so we can be done. And we'll all go
Everybody grab a body. Throw 'em over your
grab a body.
shoulder. Ren, take 2. I know you can do it.
Except for you, Dania.
See,
you take a break. Someone
I
carry
would
Dania's
literally
body,
be
please.
like, I'd be like, everybody grab a body. Me not grabbing one. All right, right through here, everybody. Right through here.
Yeah.
That would be
Do
me.
the portal.
I'll meet you on the other side.
You guys carry the bodies. Man, that's wild. So, what theories do we have that came to fruition?
The return of Madra and Belicon as villain.
I feel like if that wouldn't have happened, I would have had a lot of questions.
I was kind of, maybe it was just me, I was a little confused on the ending of the last book and how they were going to come back. I think I had lots of different thoughts of how they were going to make their appearance to come back and how they were going to be these big bad villains again. So I think maybe just it solidifying that both of them are still out there and that they're going to become the villains that we think they are in their own ways. Like much bigger than I expected.
Yeah. I think I really thought that Malcolm would come back, right? Because of the comment that I think it was Bellicon that said it in book 1 was like, to kill all of us, you have to kill one of us, you have to kill all of us, right? But then Malcolm did die, right? And he didn't come back in this book, but there's also a whole other book. So I'm not going to put that theory to rest that Malcolm won't come back. I don't know how or whatever, but or maybe it is true that Carrion's blood did actually do the deed. And if that's the case, then Carrion is going to be somehow the one to kill the rest of them, right? And then also, Bellicon came back in the book, right? But Madra never actually came back in the story. She was just legit talked about, right? The whole time. Her name was mentioned 56 times in the book, but we never actually heard words from her, right? So, is Madra back? Does she, right? Is she running all these things? Is she actually more powerful than we thought originally? Like, is she actually the powerhouse of the 3? And we just underestimated her because of her voice and actions and choices?
Maybe. I'm wondering if it's somehow all Bellicon. Because still, going back to Madra being set up as this ditzy dumb girl who has no idea what's ever going on, and she's just wants everything to always be about her, and she's always in charge. Is he really the one, the mastermind behind it, but he just needs Madra placed in Zelvarin, you know, for that power to be reached there? I don't know. I feel like Bellicon is sneaky enough.
He might be sneaky enough, but I don't think he is smart enough to do that. Because,
we thought that about Madra, though, too.
That's
the only
true,
smart
yes,
one
is that she closed the gate. Madra closed the Quicksilver pools.
That's true. You're right. That's true.
That says a fuck ton. How on earth, right? Like, that's to be so powerful. Either she's that powerful, and it's some sort of different magic that we don't know of yet, or she is an alchemist. So I think Madra is like the true, either she is like the true person, like the true fae that is like ruling all the 3, or I think that maybe there's like something else, right? So like if, I think the feeders are possibly coming from Madra and Zelvarin, but also maybe not. It's not ever confirmed, right? We learn that there's a pool in Amatreus, but no one ever sees a feeder come through that pool. First of all.
No.
They're just like, yes, there's a pool here. That must be where they're coming from. Great, we can travel through it. We never like, there's a feeder coming out of this pool. Right? We do know that they're human. We know that they're human. So like the odds of them coming from Zelvarin are like pretty high,
and
right?
They
but
have
are
the
they
X,
actually coming from Aldrin?
Which
and they have the little X, right?
Chapter.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll get it. We will get into that for sure. But like I don't know. It's like itching the wrong way, right? Like, what is Madra really? She can't just be, like, a random powerful lady. She has to be more. Or is someone or something acting in her place? And we are assuming it is Madra.
Yeah, she has to have some crazy important backstory that we're going to find out in the next book. Because there's no way book 1 Madra can really do this. Book 2.
Or is she, like, a puppet on a string?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is
She's
it
the
Bellicon?
face of it.
Or, you know,
I think it's a demon god. Or somebody, some bigger entity.
I can see that.
I don't think Bellicon is powerful enough to create rot.
No. He has to have something mixed in. I think you're right. I think
and then
witches
turn
are going to become
a human into a feeder.
I think witches are going to become very, very important. They are talked about a lot. So.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Character growth. Danya. That damn girl, Danya. Obviously, she was valiant before. Okay, otherwise she wouldn't be a part of the Lupo Praelia. I give her that, okay? Her acting with Kingfisher, getting burned. To me, it felt like character growth. And it, maybe not so much growth, but almost like a plot twist as readers to be like, whoa. And I feel like that was Callie giving us a peek into, like, truly who she is. She's not just a girl who sits and cries and whines about her sword being taken from her.
Yeah. So. But also, like, Callie told us that we know nothing about Danya. She's like, you guys don't know anything about her. Which I agree. We really don't. Right? And the only times, like, we see Danya is in super, super stressful situations, for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, we see her at, like, a dinner. We saw her in book 1 at, like, a dinner, right? And Saris was in the seat to the right hand, which was a stressful situation for her. So she's like, what the fuck are you doing in that seat? Right? Because that was important to her. Right? Yeah. And the one dinner in this book that we see her in where it's not super high stakes, she's like, hey, Carrion, what's up? Hi, bud. Like, she's chill, right? So I think every time we see her, she's just in this super, super stressful situation in life at the moment.
I can see that. I will say that the rest of the book, though, my original feelings returned for her. She just irked me.
Okay, I got a little mad. I got a little mad And we will get into that later because that's like a whole
Okay.
hour of things. But
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Yes. So, chapter 5, Deadstock, right? Chapter recap. Sarah should be caring about the bag of heads that was just delivered to her, but she only has eyes for Kingfisher. Everyone is on edge about the multiple pairs of eyes blinking at them when there should be none, and not even Tal knows how to eliminate them. There is so much mind speaking. Even Carrion is getting upset, and he has some very important information to tell the class. So, there was speculation after Quicksilver that Ceres physically could not leave the blood court, and that was why Carrion and Kingfisher had to make the trip to Zilvarin. This is not the case, though. This was like a debunked thing. Because she's free to leave, right? She just cannot really be in the sun. So she has to be careful about that, right? And Ceres mentioned something interesting to me. She says she does not have to drink blood, but since biting Fisher, she wants to. The urge is there. And I think that that's going to come in back to play in book 3.
Does she want to in like I'm thirsty because I'm a vampire, or like I'm thirsty because I want to do things to my mate kind of way? Like, why does she want to drink the blood?
I think it's the vampire part of her, and here's why. I think if she would have said, I was thinking about, like, you know, biting, like the urge to bite again, right? Because then it's a dose, right? But she's like, drinking blood. Like, drinking blood isn't the part that gets you high. It's just the biting and the venom that comes out of your fangs. So I think that it's the vampire part of her that is trying to maybe take control. So I don't know. It's interesting. So it was noted in previous chapters as well that even after the heads were cut off of I'm calling them super feeders. That's the word for them, because there's like regular feeders, right? The horde, and then there's super feeders. So that's their name officially.
Okay.
So when the heads were cut off of the super feeders, that Fisher and Wren still felt their magic being siphoned from them like a connection to the beings. So whatever or whoever was actually controlling the super feeders was maybe trying to take hold of the magic and like legit suck it out of that person. Because like, and I thought it was so interesting because Telena worked on them, right? They're like, Telena worked on us and now we're fine.
Right. This is the question I have. Because how does Telena have that much power as a healer to fix everything? Considering this whole book is about how the rot and these feeders, the super feeders, cannot be stopped. But she can stop the feeling of this magic being drained. Why can she do that?
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting.
What's the
connection? Are we sleeping on Telena?
Right.
Yeah. Maybe we are sleeping on Telena. Maybe Telena is going to be a huge part of stopping the rot.
Suspicious. Or is she causing the rot? Dun dun.
No, Telena's good lady. You leave her alone. Not approved. Denied.
You never know.
So it was so much funnier reading this book the second time with Carrion inspecting live heads and eating an apple and rolling his eyes because no one else wanted to come near them. And I feel this as a literal mother, right? Like there's dirty diapers, there's boogies, like nothing grosses me out. I'm like eating my lunch and my kid just like did a blowout in his pants and I'm like, it's cool, like, let me just change your diaper really quick while I, like, snack. Like, nothing grosses me out. And I'm like, and they're like, oh my god, ew, it stinks. Oh my god, ew. And I'm like, bro, it's fine. I felt that so freaking much. He's like, rolled his eyes. He's like, can you guys not? Like, we deal with death all the time. This is not weird. So, Carrion inspects the super feeders and mentions they are from Zilvarin. A normal feeder or source may or may not be marked in Sanisroth because you cannot steal dead stock, right? And they are bound to the high blood that made them, and they will only listen to that person. And if you are like me and have heard the term dead stock but didn't really know what that was, I looked it up, of course I did, used on a farm as opposed to the livestock and or living on there. So it's called the dead stock. So now we know that information. I don't know if anybody not needed to know that. I needed to know.
I hate that they're called dead stock. I don't know why. It gives me the ick. The word does.
I think it's supposed to give you the ick.
I know, but it just makes me uncomfy.
Yeah. Clue number 1 of why they were from Zilvarin is that there was an X behind the earlobe marking them on the list to be cleansed. And as we remember, Ceres was marked to be cleansed and was cleansed, and so she is no longer able to have children. Clue number 2 is that their ears are rounded, so they're human. So the odds of them coming from Zilvarin are pretty high, right? Even though humans way back when used to be in Kalish, but now they're not, and we know that's probably because of the X. So, like, I can jump on with that theory for sure.
Yeah. As soon as Carrion said they were from Zilvarin, I Let me tell you what I wrote originally, okay? Then we're gonna backtrack. As soon as Carrion said they were from Zilvarin, I knew it was that bitch Madra, okay? I was like, I knew she was gonna come back. But how did she get so powerful? Because she doesn't seem that smart. And this is where my comment does not age well, okay? Because later on, we do know in some way that we assume that the dead stock is coming from Zilvarin, right? They're coming from Madra, assuming. We just had this conversation. But we also kind of flip back to book 1 where they talk about the guards carrying around her little pouches of like ash and her hair.
The plague pouches.
Yes, and that Zilvarin is being built like a goddamn spell. Okay, we'll get really into that a little bit later.
Yes.
But I remember when we were doing Quicksilver, we talked in depth about her having her followers that carry her little pouches, they carry her hair around, but it was kind of put out there like she makes them do that because she thinks that she's so important. And that she kind of conned them into thinking, like, I have to do this to be protected and, like, move on to, like, heaven when I die. But, like, was she actually smart? Is that actually how the spell is, like, what?
It makes me think of, like, and I don't have a lot of knowledge of this, so, like, if I say anything wrong, I'm so sorry. But, like, cult leaders do not get where they are in their followings because they're dumb. Like, they're insane for the most part, right?
Usually
but, like,
narcissist.
Yes, and they're pretty smart, right? They're pretty intelligent. And so I think that Madra is incredibly intelligent. Like I said, I'm 50-50, right? Either Madra is super fucking smart, we have slept on her this whole time, and she's actually super powerful, or it also feels like this information is being hand-fed to us as Madra. Madra's actually really smart. Madra's actually really powerful. Madra's been doing this. Are you sure? Because it seems very easy to be like, yes, Madra. I knew that was her. But, like, part of me is like, is it? Is it Madra? Or is, again, she the front face of whatever?
Right.
Again, we never speak to her. We never see her. Even when they're in Zilvarin. Kingfisher's like, I'm going to go get her. I'm going to go get her. I'm going to go get her. And then he never does. We never fucking talk to her. And that is so suspicious. It's so suspicious. So I don't know. But here's one other thing. When they're talking about, like, all of these things and what they are, the Quicksilver comes back and tells us a very important piece of information. It says, she hears us. She hears us. Oh, yes, she hears. She will come soon, soon, soon. What the fuck? Who's coming? Is it Madra? Is it somebody else? Is there a woman demon god? Is Madra a woman demon god?
See, I read that as she will come soon. Like, Ceres is going to come soon to the pool of Quicksilver to go through it. Because, right after this, we find out that they've always had a pool of Quicksilver, which is why she's heard it. So, first off, why?
Okay,
why
all right, I can see that.
Who mentioned this? Yeah. And so when I read it, it was like them being like, yes, she found us, she hears us, she's gonna come this way. Because they do go through it.
That is fair.
Yeah, I don't know.
I read it originally as, like they were just talking about the heads, and then the Quicksilver's like, yeah, girl, Madra's listening. She can literally hear you. She'll be there soon.
I can see that, too.
That's what I imagined it as. But yes, I like the way that you read it as well. I didn't realize the line was interpreted in different ways.
It could go either way.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, interesting. So, yeah, theories for book 3. Ceres will drink blood once again, by choice. And also, I still think that Madra might be a demon god.
Maybe. She's got to be something, you know?
Something is happening.
Carrion, though. Can we talk about Carrion's growth? Because he
is
starting to show that he can be useful, right? He's more than just comic relief.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, hey, guys, look at this. Hey, over here. Hey, information that he figures out. And I feel like this is, like, just, like, dipping the toe in of, like, hey, he's going to be important this book. Maybe even the next book. He can do shit. Yep. He's not just here to sit around and look pretty. I liked that.
Agreed.
Woohoo.
Yeah, no, I think that he is a super slept on character. I'm glad that we're learning more about him, and I'm glad that he's not losing his charm as he's growing.
Yes, agreed. All right, chapter 6, titles. This chapter is obviously supposed to focus on Ceres' many titles, but it should really be called The Real Housewives of Kalish. They return to Kalish to have a dinner party where Ishabal and Lorith have tension over some longtime grudge. Ceres insults Danya about her new haircut. Danya and Carrion might sleep together, and Ceres Ceres and Kingfisher announce, then unannounce, their wedding, which makes Archer cry. There's never a dinner party without drama.
Stop making Archer sad. God damn it. It's not that hard.
So,
the Quicksilver pool in Amontreath was kept down below the sepulcher? I don't know how to pronounce that word.
I'm glad you looked
I'm going
to
say it wrong. But anyways, a stone structure or chamber for burying the dead. I did look it up. Yes, of course I did. I don't know these things.
Yes.
Yes, a stone structure or chamber for burying the dead.
Yeah, when I heard that in the book, I was like, ooh, fancy. Not knowing at all what it was. I just thought the word was fancy. So, of course, the pool is fancy.
That's cool. I just yes, so fancy. Moving on. Yes. That's how you know one of us reads for the vibes. It's not me.
It's me. It's me.
It's you. I'm like, what is this thing? Google, like, da-na-na-na-na. And you're like, da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Anyways, moving on. Oh, Ceres is pissed because she wants to get away from the pools. But Fixture is actually kind of glad that this is happening because now the journey to Kalish won't involve trucking through literal death. They can just take the pool. Right. So, I don't know why we're upset. I don't know why we're mad that we have to be around pools. You're a literal fucking alchemist, babe. This is your job.
Yep.
So, be grateful. Fisher leaves out a green dress for Ceres to wear, and she chose to wear her fighting leathers instead. Like, it's fine. You're a woman. You get to choose your clothes. But his mom worked so hard on these fucking dresses. Wear them. Just
this
dinner.
Makes me actually really upset. And I'm glad he kind of brings it up later in the book. Because he's kind of like, hey, like, there's all these really nice dresses that you don't wear. Like, do you not like them? Like, what is it? Like, you can be both, right? Like, you can show up and you don't have to be ready for war 24/7. You can wear nice things. You can do this if you want to. And I'm pretty sure this dress either had, like, onyx on it, like little foxes embellished, or it was little kingfishers, like little birds. One of those. She notes like a very important animal, or he notes that there's like a very important animal embellished on it, and I'm like, and you still didn't put it on? Like, it would look so pretty.
Stupid. But also, she has no idea that his mom made these dresses. He never told her. The only reason we know is because of the bonus chapters, the Fox and Boots address. That's it.
Right.
Otherwise, we would have no idea about these fucking dresses. But I'm like, God damn it. Just tell her. The miscommunication trope is my least favorite trope of all the fucking... I would rather read a pregnancy trope than a miscommunication trope. How about, my mom made these dresses for you. I would like you to wear them. Okay,
put them
I'll wear
on,
them.
bitch.
Thank you. It's not hard.
You're disrespecting her honor.
Disrespect. Shame on you. Shame on your cow. Yeah, all the things. So, anyways, I digress. Renfis and Ishbal have the same accents. Ceres wonders if they are from the same part of Yvelia. That's very interesting to me. Do we actually know where Renfis is from?
No.
Part of me is like, that's a weird comment. They have the same accent. Ren from the area with the Balclitter witches. Is he part wizard? Warlock?
He's part of the coven.
Question mark? The coven. Part of the clan. One of us. So, Isabel is a witch from the Balclitter camp. She is welcomed by Ceres, Kingfisher, and Telena, but nobody else in the room, especially Lorith. Lorith loathes her. And I need someone else in this book to get laid besides Taladeus and Carrion, right? And Ceres and Kingfisher. I need them to have hate sex so bad. They hate each other. Just do it. Just do it. And then you can go back to hating each other afterwards. But like, goddamn, they hate each other. Just have hate sex already. It's fine. So we also get an update on Everlane, who legit sleeps the entire book, except for a couple of moments where she's a conduit. I did not see that coming. That Everlane sleeping the whole book was not on my bingo card.
Yeah, she was important in the first book. I mean, I guess she's technically important because she's like a message center, but not as herself.
Yeah, her sleeping, I was like, are you going to wake up?
Nah.
Not even at the ending. She's still sleeping.
No. Yep.
She's Sleeping Beauty at this point. Renfis needs to go give her a kiss. Wake her up. Prince Charming.
I don't know.
Well, because when we had talked to the podcast Between Pages and Friends, and we have an episode about it, so if you guys want to watch that, you can. Lauren was I have a theory.
I can't get that theory out of my head. I don't trust that bitch.
Lauren's theory
no more.
was that Everlane is actually like a traitor or an enemy, because in the very beginning of Quicksilver, she tells Ceres, like, you have to watch your back because you never know who's going to be nice to your face, basically, and then stab you in the back when you're not looking. And she was like, okay, I will remember that. So I was like, that is an interesting theory. Like, I never thought about that, right? So, like, what kind of twist would that be?
Yeah, which is why
And then I was like, when is Everlane gonna be a traitor? She's sleeping.
That's why I don't want Ren with her.
Yeah. We get an updated list of what Kingfisher smells like. And Sierra at Wonderwick, I know you took notes. Bruised herbs, citrus, smoke, leather, pine, and cold mountain air. I am just waiting for her to get her license for it, for this book and this series, because I will be first in line. We know that you've got this, Sierra. I'm ready. Yes, it's gonna, and we got more details this time. She has more information.
Yeah,
I know she took notes.
More in depth.
So Archer is back, a full circle moment, because the chair next to Fisher is the one that Archer used to panic about, and now he leads Ceres right to it to sit down, and I'm not fucking crying. You're crying.
Archer in his tiny
Best
little
man.
vest. His little vest. And he's like, we don't have to wear clothes, but on special occasions.
We like to look nice. Yes, Archer. I love it. You look so nice, little buddy.
I love him.
I love fire sprites. I don't know why fire sprites always just fucking get me right in the goddamn soul. I love them. When we got to the point in this book where Archer almost died, have you listened to the voice memos yet on that?
No, I have not.
I was livid. I was screaming into my phone. I was like, what the fuck? And let me describe to you the scene that was happening. Okay, it was on my birthday, first of all. I'm in my car.
Not on your birthday.
I have Chinese food on my birthday. I have Chinese food in the passenger seat. I am driving down the road. I'm eating crab rangoons, and I'm like listening to this fucking scene of Archer dying, and I'm like at a stoplight, like voicemail, like, oh my god, what's happening? What's happening to us? I had like PTSD, like a full traumatic response. Because, okay, spoiler for Crescent City, like, here we go, spoiler. When they take La Hava from us, I cry every time.
Yeah.
Okay,
See,
spoiler
I haven't read
over.
That book, but I do know.
I was like, no.
Yeah, I do know.
Killed me. I was like, Callie Hart, I will call you. I don't have your number. I'll find it. Like, hello?
Send a
Don't do this to me.
email.
Yes. And everyone upset him anyways because there's not going to be a wedding.
Yes. And he sits down. She literally marks in the book that he sits back down after jumping up on his chair, being so excited. Sits down, and he looks so sad. And I can just, like, picture in my head that he looks like this tiny little kid who you just told no. And he's got, like, the puppy eyes.
And he's probably, like, kicking his little legs under the table,
to, like... Yeah, before he's about to, like, sob, he's just, like, holding it in.
Yeah, so sad. Tiny baby.
Baby.
So, theories that came to fruition.
Y'all really talked about Carrie and Danya a lot.
I did.
Puke.
But we did. But did that come to fruition? I don't really think so.
I think, yeah, you have a theory, and I have a theory that I think they differ just slightly. But
probably, yes. They're probably in the same, like, wavelength.
I think they mark the same moments of the story, but we're seeing it slightly different.
Oh my god, is this a note that you have? I'm sorry. Absolutely not. I'm deleting that.
They need the brimstone. They need brimstone. And I know they're getting it a different way, possibly. But I think Archer might die book 3.
The only way that would happen is if he sacrifices himself. But he won't. Because they have dragons. And the dragons the dragons are going to come out of the icky portal. And then they're going to swoop around and breathe and drop brimstone on everybody. And everything's going to be fine. She put in the note, Archer gonna die.
Not me.
Let me respond. No.
Not Hermione. You.
Absolutely not. I wanted to go on record that he did not go into one fetal position this book.
No. He is a big, strong man. Mm-hmm. In tiny body.
Yeah.
He brings so much love into my heart. But yeah, he becomes really important.
Same.
And prevalent. Like, he's constantly there, but, like, not just for funsies. He's important boy.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Chapter 7. Home.
Oh boy.
Overall recap of this chapter.
Sex.
So, I will read you guys the official note that we wrote here. Overall recap of this chapter. Sex. From Kass. And I said, are we keeping this? And she said, what else are you going to write? This episode is rated X. So that's the overall recap of the chapter.
That's it. That's all you gotta know.
So, all right, big plot points.
Sex. Next.
Specifically, air bubble sex. So, no, huge plot point. Kingfisher doesn't know his own name. And I lost my fucking mind. He says, I don't know it. I've never known it. We usually receive our true names on the 14th birthdays, and my mother, well, she died before I turned 14, and my father was already gone, so therefore, no wedding. Which is the only reason that they can't have a wedding. It's not that they don't want to get married. It's not that he doesn't want that.
Right.
He just literally can't, because it's tradition in the Fae custom to give your true name to your mate. So, that is fucking upsetting. And his mom drew a lot of things, right? She drew Ceres and Fisher and little birds with flashing blue wings. I think that's going to come back. I don't know why, I just feel it in my brain. I did not have Fisher not knowing his own name on my bingo card either. I was like, what the fuck do you mean?
I really thought his name was Kingfisher. Which I know in these stories, I really thought his real name was just Kingfisher. I mean, he's part of the royal court. They give their babies weird-ass names all the time, okay? Maybe she just really liked birds.
Nah, girl. No. Nobody has a true... Nobody's names.
Again, I read for vibes.
Welcome to the Goodest Girls. Welcome to Theories, Lore, and Vibes.
Dallas brings the theories and lore, and Cass brings the vibes.
Cass is here for a good time. What is happening?
We need a new logo.
I cannot. Yes.
I'm gonna make a new logo.
Theories, Lore, and Vibes. That needs to be a sticker. The Goodest Girls. Theories, Lore, and Vibes. It's our first trademark.
Woo!
So, we get a glimpse of Ceres Fane's first small magic. She can control air, which is cool as fuck, actually. So, Fisher also thinks she has magic to, just like small magic to disintegrate clothing, because he's like, make my clothes disappear. Okay, she's like, I can't. Try harder. Try harder, babe.
Try harder.
Like, Kingfisher's not telling everybody to do that, just you. Nope. So, things get spicy as fuck. This book was so spicy.
You finish first before I...
It's so
we
spicy.
live very different lives.
I was like, nah. And because he's like, you taste like the end of the fucking world. And after Fisher does not like bite her, but he like pokes her with his teeth, right? And then he licks the blood up. He does eventually bite her all the way and like inject his venom. Blood-sucking Fae was not on my list. It is now.
When you think of I have a question. When you think of Tal, you never thought of like, ooh, I would love for him to do this. And I get that he's a vampire. Is it the difference that you want the blood sucking coming from somebody that doesn't need the blood? Or was it just...
No, he licked it.
I mean...
He didn't drink it, but like, he like licked it up. I don't know, cleaned up a mess. I like it. Sue me.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I would enjoy it.
I like what I like. This is a safe space. I like when Kingfisher licks the blood.
I'm just saying you never thought of that before, being like, wow, that would turn me on.
No, because it was normal vampire stuff. I've read vampire romances.
Oh, okay.
Like, I like them. Right? Like, that's not new. But, like, okay, so I guess blood-licking Fae instead of blood-sucking Fae was not on my list.
So the turn-on is that he's Fae, that he doesn't need the blood.
Yeah,
like
I think
vampire.
so.
Okay, yeah, I got you. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like
that's
the
where I was like, all right. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And he was like,
okay,
I made a mess.
That was my question. I was not shaming you for your kinks, okay? There's no kink shaming here.
You can't shame people, Cass.
That's what I
safe
said.
Space.
Let me just say, this is where I had to shut off my audiobook, okay? Or my husband had to leave the room. All right. To preface this, I was listening to the audiobook with my headphones in. Okay, so this man cannot hear it anyways. But I paused it because I was like, holy shit, this is a lot spicier than it was before. And I was getting, like, embarrassed that I was listening to this and he was sitting right there in the room and had no idea what was coming through my headphones, okay? I was so embarrassed. So I'm like, this is crazy.
So funny.
You have to hear this. And if any of you know my husband, which you don't, but Dallas can attest to this.
I do.
He cannot in any way, shape, or form do sex. Okay, if we're talk of sex.
I'm really sorry.
I worded that so wrong.
And I'm crying.
That's not what I meant. He can do it. Trust me. He can do it. We have a child. Anyway, what he cannot do is listen to...
Yeah, I need a minute. I'm fucking dying.
He's gonna be so
too
upset.
hot.
Right. Let me just come on record.
I'm literally gonna pass out. Oh my god.
Okay. Okay. Let me just state. He can do. Can do. What he cannot can do sex. What he cannot do is watch or listen to other people doing or talking about it. Okay, so if we're watching Netflix and a sex scene comes on, we fast forward that shit, alright? If we're in the same room together. Cannot do. If I'm listening to it, I literally played him. I was like, listen, you listen to Akatar, the dramatized version of them having sex. If you can get through that, you can get through this, right? No. He heard one line of it, and he was like, turn that shit off, I gotta go. Got up and left the room. So anyways, he left the room. And then I continued because of how spicy this book is. And I was not expecting that. I was not expecting the spice level to boost so that much. I was shocked.
So he also says, Kingfisher says, come now, Osha, where else would an acolyte kneel to worship but at the altar of his god? And Anthony fucking Palmini deserves an award for this line alone. Like, this one line.
I screamed.
Give him a fucking Grammy. Where's his Oscar?
I screamed.
Yes.
Out
Amen.
loud.
The end.
Physically screamed.
Book closed. Vampire what? I don't know. Yes. A good time.
Mm-hmm.
A good time indeed. So, theories for book 3. I think book 3, the spice will be higher than it already was. I think it'll be end of the world, right before everything's saved, super hot fucking. Like, that's what I think.
If that happens, I will physically have to read the book. Cannot listen to it at all. Sorry, Anthony. Sorry, Stella. I cannot. You're lucky
I'll listen to it twice.
I don't know. It's a me thing. The little Christian girl inside of me.
That's fair.
Is cringing. The trauma from the Christian church. It still takes over
I don't
my
have
life.
that. I don't have one of those.
You're so lucky.
I don't have one.
Anyways.
I know. That's all she wrote. So, that is prologues and 1 through 7. Bet. We're done. Mm-hmm. However, at the end of each one of our episodes, I am having us pick a favorite quote from these set of chapters. So one of my favorite quotes from this set of chapters was, "She doesn't need a garrote." Aladeus objected. "It isn't a garrote, it's a belt," Fisher replied amicably. "In my head," he said, "it's a garrote." And if you don't know what a garrote is, there's a reason I like this, is because it is both a weapon and a historical method of capital punishment by strangulation. It can refer to a handheld instrument used for strangling or a mechanical device used for execution. Most likely, you guys are gonna know it as like the length of wire or cord that you like wrap around.
Yeah.
Do a wrap around. And I thought that was hilarious. He's like, "It's a garrote."
It was read well because it made me giggle. I was like,
yes. It did a good job. He's like,
yeah.
"She doesn't need that." It's not. It is.
My quote is a little more just vibey. This is, what chapter is that? They're back at college for the dinner party, okay? And Saris walks up to Danya. She says, "I wanted to ask you about your new hairstyle. What prompted the dramatic cut?" She stared at me blankly. A burning corpse set me on fire.
Fucking love Danya, dude. I love her. A burning
corpse. It got
corpse,
even
babe.
worse. It got even worse because she's like,
so funny.
I love how short it is. I was wondering why it was so short, and she's like, "I would never cut it this short. My honor comes from how long my hair is." Yeah.
It's longer than the men's.
She's fucking bald. She's like, "I would never do it."
Stop talking. Stop talking.
Shut up, Saris.
Shut the fuck up, Saris. Amazing. I love it. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. If you had fun, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. It helps other people see our show as well, so we can all dive into Brimstone together. We will see you next week on another episode. I'm Dallas.
And I'm Kass.
See you later.